GNT show is intended for mature audiences. Parental discretion is advice. Live long and prosper, bitches.
Star Trek, The Final Frontier. These are the voyages of the GNT show, our continuing mission to explore Star Trek storytelling, to seek out new worlds and interesting characters, to boldly go where no show has gone before.
Naomi Wildman. I was setting it up. Oh. Welcome to the GNT show, where obviously we have no script.
Yeah, let's just get this puppy started.
As always, the beautiful, the lovely, the high-booted, short-skirted, big-breasted Terry Lynn.
That would be me. Admiral Shaw.
She's badass. It's Ceridium. Come
Good morning. It's Sunday on the GNT show.
You know the worst part of this morning? It's not the getting up early. It's the fact they're making me wear clothes to do the show.
It's time for Coffee Clutch.
Strap on your helmets, boys and girls. It's gonna get rough.
Oh, it's going to be one of those mornings.
Let me put on my seatbelt, my helmet with the little blinky light on top.
For safety.
When we decided we were going to do the GNT show, one of the things we said was no standards. GNT show does not go on the air because we're ready. It goes on the air because it's 9 o'clock on Sunday morning.
Mike could have snapped by then and killed us both. Pain sticks for Mike, evidently.
We have our production meetings on the air.
Well, it's the best way to get you to adhere to things.
Yeah, you've now set an expectation. That's the thing about the GNT show is we set no expectations.
I need more coffee.
Wow.
I'm trying to figure out whether or not I want to do general news or Star Trek news, and I figured
This is Harry having a series of small strokes, actually.
Well, it doesn't take long for this show to deteriorate, does it?
Straight the fuck downhill.
I don't always podcast, but when I do, I GNT.
It's show number 190. Good morning. We're sitting at a triangular table today. We've got a large crystal ball in front of us, and there's a Ouija board under it, so it's a bit mysterious and mystical today. In front of me at one apex of the triangle is Ceridium. He's dressed a bit like a gypsy fortune teller.
Kapla! My voodoo.
Looks really nice with the ridges.
Oh, thank you.
And at the other apex of the triangle is MidNite Shadow. He's in a toga. He's dressed like the soothsayer from Julius Caesar.
Gale on 2, everybody.
And tomorrow creeps in its petty pace. And of course, I'm Jespah, and I'm just sort of doing the Stevie Nicks thing today. Anyway, so good morning to everyone, and welcome to show number 190.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm okay. I'm waiting for grades. Actually, we just did it last week, I just handed in a whole bunch of stuff last week. So I'm sitting on tenterhooks waiting for grades. So I'm kind of in that little limbo area.
Well, you may be in that limbo area waiting, but we all know that you just nailed everything.
I hope so. I never thought I'd be quite so obsessed with these things, but at this point, I'm like, if you pull my grade point average down, I'm going to hurt you, kind of mode.
3.99 is not enough.
It's not good enough. It's like the classic Jewish family words. You mean you got an A-? You're not my son anymore.
And joining us, hello, Black Magnum.
Hello.
Good morning, everybody. How are you?
Okay.
He's got the silkiest voice on radio, doesn't he?
Smooth like silk.
Oh man, that's like a melty voice. It's awesome.
Yeah, we need to pass ShamWows around the chat room. I think we're going to set up a dispenser at the door for episodes when Anthony joins us.
With sanitizer, because we're all about being healthy here.
Right on. Let's see, Steve, what did you do this week?
Work, and more work. And then I've been helping look after my nephew because my sister-in-law's been moving out her house. So I've had screaming kids everywhere.
Oh.
Which has been fun for my headaches.
I've had barking dogs. And check this out. The dogs have been wonderful this whole time. Except one morning I decided to sleep in.
Oh, that's just a mistake right there.
Yeah, I decided to sleep in, and their breakfast was a half hour late. Oh, man, they made my life hell for the day. Casey has this obsession with playing. So if it's not one of his toys, it's rocks. And what he's been doing is normally he goes after little rocks. Well, that day he went after the biggest ones he can pick up, and he came over and he would drop them on my foot. Just repeatedly. I mean, it was just let's see, what else did they do to me that day? Oh man, it was like, I promise, I swear, I'll never forget you your food late.
It's like, waiter, you were not here with my food on time.
Exactly. So I vowed to. I mean, I wake up early now to make sure that I get their food to them. And ever since, they've been lovely, wonderful dogs.
They don't. You don't get like the nose in your up one nostril or in your armpit or anything like that to wake you up.
No, they have collars with a lot of tags and whatnot. So what they'll do is they'll come into the room, they'll shake their head vigorously, so I get like this cascade of ringing.
Okay, all right. So you're getting the little jingly. It's almost like key sound. Okay.
Yes, yeah. And I'm getting a strange ring over here.
Ooh. Okay. So while Mike is being called by a spammer, so what's new with you, Anthony?
Oh, well, let's see. Work, and more work. But outside of that, just doing my thing, podcasting. I love podcasting because I like my voice. I'm just kidding. But anyway.
He likes the sound of his own voice.
Yeah, just podcasting and trying to get the word out there for people who listen that I'm cool. I'm just kidding. It's Sunday morning. It's early. You guys woke me up, but it's good. We could talk about some Star Trek. That's what I want to talk about. But Mike, with the dogs don't like it when you sleep in. Just throwing that out there. There's nothing worse than when you're trying to sleep you wake up, but you feel this breathing on your face.
Yes.
Because that dog is right there waiting for you to open your eyes.
Oh, yeah. They'll come over. Usually, like I said, they'll shake their heads, and their collars will jangle,
mm-hmm.
and that'll usually get me to kind of realize they're there. And if I don't move quickly enough, then they'll start rubbing up against the bed. And usually at that point, I reach a hand out and groan, okay, I'm coming.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, it's like, okay, I'm getting up. And then as soon as I'm in a sitting position, then it's like, all right, give me loving. And it's like, okay, petting you, loving you. Yes, good dogs. And then I have to force myself up. And it's like, oh,
it's all about them. All about them.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, we used to have we had a Mastiff mix, and he's been gone for over 10 years, but big dog. And you would try to sleep later than about 6 o'clock or so was about his limit. And, the dog would come in. He didn't have too much jingly stuff, so that didn't wake anybody up. But you'd get the nose in, pressed up against usually like your nostril, which was always fun. So not only have I got cold wet nose on me, but I'm breathing
doggy breath.
Yeah, I'm breathing doggy breath at that point. Or you'd get it, if it was a really hot day and you're wearing like a tank top, you'd get nose in the armpit kind of thing. The real problems with personal space with that dog.
Right on. Something else I did this week. I saw The Avengers.
Woohoo! How was it?
Yay.
Oh my God.
I haven't seen it yet, so please no spoilers.
We're all about spoilers here.
Yeah, no spoilers.
That is exactly how you tell a ensemble story, or a good story for an ensemble cast. It had plenty of opportunity to shed light on all of the characters. It gave us insight into each character. It made me laugh. It made me cry. It made me smile more throughout most of the film. The special effects obviously were going to be fantastic, and they did not let me down in that aspect. I thought it was a great film. And If you have
that opening sequence was definitely shot to be seen in 3D.
Oh, I didn't see it in 3D. I saw it in 2D because
I did as well, but it was obviously designed especially for 3D. I sat there thinking, I think I want to watch this in 3D now.
Just for that the next time I watch, I think I'm going to watch it again, and I'm going to spring for the 3D tickets. But with my glasses, it's difficult because 2 pairs of glasses, and it's because I can't. Nothing's in focus without the glasses.
I know. I have the same issue.
With 3D glasses, it brings everything even into. I don't know. It just would be awful if I try to watch it 3D without my regular glasses. But
prescription 3D glasses. Science, get on that.
Yeah, that's what I need. That's what I need. But yeah, it was.
What's funny about 3D? This is what I like about it, because with the glasses, if you get really into the movie, it actually looks like things are coming at you. I think the funniest thing is I'm sitting there watching people in front of me trying to swat it away, and they're accidentally hitting the person next to them. That would be funny.
That's funny.
I would love to see that.
The first 3D movie I ever saw was in Disneyland. It was that Michael Jackson Captain EO thing. Have you
And you're admitting that because...
Well, I was like, 6, okay?
Oh, all right. So you had no control.
I had no control. But that was the first 3D movie I've ever seen. And I have to admit, I beat the crap out of my brother because I thought something was coming for us.
That might not have been just the movie, though.
Well, the movie got started. I just didn't let it stop.
The only movie I've seen in 3D was Into Darkness.
I did see that one in 3D. That one. It was a double feature for me. So I saw 2009, which wasn't in 3D, and then we watched Into Darkness, and that one obviously was big difference. But yeah,
I swear my geek cred is like at 0 or close to it. I've never seen a film in 3D.
Are you serious?
I am utterly serious.
Wow. Why not?
Well, I'm also with the prescription glasses, though.
Yeah, that makes it a lot
wear
harder.
glasses when I go to the movies, but I just put the 3D glasses over top of my glasses.
Yeah, but they always fall off and get in the way.
No, you got to have proper glasses that stay on your head. Come on now.
Matt Anderson says, can't watch 3D without getting headaches, so no 3D for me.
3D is the way. It's going to be the way of the future. You guys know that, right?
Well, I suspect it may be something that'll make me a bit dizzy too. So that may turn out to be a good thing for me to stay away from them for that reason.
Well, yes and no, Anthony. I agree and disagree.
Okay.
I agree because, yes, it is one of those technologies that it seems like a natural evolution. However, the problem with 3D is the glasses. If they could figure out a way to do 3D without requiring the extra added equipment, that would be a game changer.
Well,
but until then, it's still a novelty.
I get that, but if science can teleport molecules now, I'm sure they could come up with projection TV.
You know how you can get make your glasses into shades by having this little thing to clip on? What they need is one of those, but with the 3D lenses to go over your normal glasses.
That would be interesting, but that would at least make it easier for people with glasses. I agree with that.
Okay, this is our $1 million idea. Don't tell anybody.
Yeah. We'll keep it a secret.
Quick, secure the patents.
Next time I go to the opticians, I'm actually going to say, so where do I get the 3D lenses from? Let's see what they say.
But yeah, I really did enjoy the film. And like I said, if you haven't checked out Avengers yet, please do, because it is Joss Whedon just hit it out of the park, in my opinion. Now, granted, I've seen some criticism of the film about some of the humor, how the film never actually builds any real tension because they're always being disarmed. You know, they use comedy to disarm the tension very, very, very often. And yes, but again, this isn't a DC movie.
Yeah.
I'm a DC fan, but that is one thing about the Marvel films that I do enjoy is they're not afraid to make fun of themselves. And DC, it's all super serious, and it's, everything is on the fate of humanity is on, and it's like, okay, come on, you can still have all that, but still have a little bit of fun with it.
Hey,
isn't this the last Marvel movie that Joss is doing?
Is it?
I think so. I'm sure I saw somewhere that it was happening, but I was at work at the time.
There's a character missing in that movie.
Oh,
the missing god of mischief.
Oh yes, Loki. He got cut.
Loki.
And honestly, I didn't miss him until after I saw the film and realized, wait, he wasn't in there.
However, and it's not really a spoiler because he wasn't in the movie, but in the Blu-ray DVD releases, the deleted scenes, hopefully he'll be in one of those.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll see him. But again, from what I understand, this particular scene that he was in, it was. I don't want to spoil it. So, but again, it was one of those. It was one of those scenes that could very easily have been thrown away, and I understand why they did. But if you had watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you kind of got the setup for the first 20 minutes of the film, and now I'm eager to watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. next week, which is going to deal with the ramifications of what happened in the film. And obviously, and as it did with the last Avengers film, it's going to or the last Marvel film, it's going to throw that series for a loop. So I'm kind of eager to see where it's going to go next week. So, okay. Anything else you guys want to talk about for Coffee Clutch, or should we move on?
Just real quick, if you do need your Loki fix, you can wait till November 3rd, 2017, where Thor Ragnarok hits the theaters. So just to let you know, 2017.
Is that the next? No, well, that 2017.
No, it's just a Thor movie.
Yeah,
that's what,
okay.
Yeah.
The next Marvel film, I think, is Ant-Man, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a man who shrinks down to the size of an ant.
I love
that's supposed to be intimidating. How? I'm not. I don't know.
I love the advertising they've been doing for it. In Australia, they've been putting near sort of park benches, really small signs for Ant-Man. And when I went to see Age of Ultron last week, there's a huge poster, and literally it had nothing on it apart from in smack bang in the middle, there's just a sort of a silhouette of a man, ant size. That was the entire poster with just Ant-Man at the bottom. I laughed at it, and my wife's like, "Why are you laughing?" I said, "It's a great poster." And she's like, "It's blank." I said, "No, look there." And she's like, "Huh?"
See, that's what makes it dangerous. You look at it, you think it's blank until you take your eyes off the road long enough to really look at it. Next thing you know, you're in a car accident and you're bleeding all over the place, and it's all because they had a 3-inch little stick figure of a person on a blank canvas the size of oh boy.
Dangerous graphic design. Dangerous.
Dangerous.
You know what Ant-Man reminds me of, though? You remember the Wonder Twins? And it's like Wonder Twin powers activate, form of an eagle, form of a water, right?
Yeah.
So when stuff hits the fan and some Godzilla monster comes and destroys the city, form of an ant, and then they go and kill the monster. I just don't see that happen. Yeah.
Does he ride a spider? That I want to see.
That would be epic. Ant-Man riding Black Widow. Oh,
do you guys remember the
That's
film?
a different kind of film.
Oh, what was that, Steve?
I didn't say a thing.
Oh, I thought I was talking over someone.
No, that was Jespah saying that was a different kind of film.
Oh,
Ant-Man on riding Black Widow.
Oh my. Have you guys seen the old film Inner Space?
Martin Short and Dennis Quaid. Absolutely. It's one of my husband's favorite films.
So yeah, the idea is, they shrink a person or a couple people to, teeny tiny, and then they inject them into a human body.
Yeah, I have seen that one. I just had to look it up because I'm thinking it sounded familiar, but
I mean, when I first heard that they were going to make Ant-Man, I was thinking, what is this kind of be like some kind of take on inner space or something, you know?
Well, and there's an earlier film that was a serious one, and God, I'm totally blanking on the name of it, where a bunch of people were shrunk down in their sub to like the size of like a a peanut, and are injected into this guy's bloodstream to try to save his life because they're going to destroy a blood clot in his brain. From the inside.
Yeah, I remember that movie.
Raquel Welch is in it. I can't remember the name of the film.
Actually, Archer, the season finale of Archer just did that as well, but the sub expanded back to normal size and blew the guy up. But they're trying to take that blood clot out.
Icky.
That's a movie they have, or a type of movie they have not done in a while. And with today's modern, special effects and computer generated, graphics, they can really make something interesting, I think. I mean, imagine a 3D movie of a little man in either in a suit or in a submarine flying through someone's bloodstream and giant red blood cells whizzing by your head. I mean, that would be like freaking awesome.
Well, in the Raquel Welch film, isn't Donald Pleasance killed by a white blood cell?
God, I don't remember.
He's the bad guy. He's a little bald bad guy.
But the way I look at it, though, that would be really bad for a human being if you had somebody, shrink down, put in your bloodstream, because you have to kill the immune system because it's trying to attack you because you're a foreign object. And if you're trying to get to his brain, by the time you get there, you killed all his immune system. You basically gave him AIDS.
This is the 60s, and we didn't know from that stuff.
Well, it depends on where you're injected. Now, if you're going the long way, say through the toe,
yeah,
or through the anus,
that's what they did in Archer. They went in the foot, and then they had to travel all the way up the body.
Yeah, I can see that, but I mean, if you're going to be injected in like the carotid artery, I mean, come on, that's like 3 inches. I mean, that's a 2 hour cruise.
Well, that's what happened is they got injected into the neck, and they got turned around because I don't know what the hell, why, and so they ended up going through the heart and doing a whole bunch of other stuff.
They made a left turn at Albuquerque.
Pretty much, yeah. And well, the other thing is, like, if Donald Pleasance is killed by a white blood cell, then it better digest all of him, because otherwise he makes the host go boom, much like in Archer, as Black Magnum was saying. So oopsie. Sorry about that. But I think the whole film was really just an excuse to put Raquel Welch into a wetsuit.
Supreme Leggett and Grim Nation had the same idea. A 3-hour tour. Right on. Okay, I think we've squirreled. I think we've squirreled. Right on.
We have indeed.
Okay, so time for some Star Trek stuff.
Okay.
Star Trek news.
Let's start with remembering TOS writer Don Mankiewicz. I'm sorry, I'm butchering his name.
I bet that's Mankiewicz.
So he, let's see, he wrote the original Star Trek episode Court Martial, and he wrote the story and was credited as co-writer of the episode with Stephen Karabatos. Let's see. So it's a short little article talking about his life. Let's see. He comes from is a member of a very talented family. His father, Herman, co-wrote Citizen Kane with Orson Welles. His uncle Joseph wrote and directed All About Eve, winning an Oscar in both categories.
Oh, this guy. Okay, yeah.
In addition to I Want to Live, Star Trek, Marcus Welby, Ironside. Don wrote for Profiles in Courage, Playhouse 90, Mannix, The Last Tycoon, Simon and Simon, MacGyver, and The Marshal. Beyond the film and television industry, he served in the Army, military intelligence, worked as a staff writer at The New Yorker, and penned a novel, Trial, which was later made into a film of the same name. But yes, he passed away at the age of 93 on Saturday. So,
Godspeed.
Okay. Star Trek magazine, the official magazine, they have a piece remembering a tribute. That's the word I'm looking for. A tribute to Leonard Nimoy. I think it's a great looking picture that they've got there for him. So if you're a subscriber, look forward to that. If not, they talk a little bit about it here. So check that out. Next up is a little bit of movie news, though it's not Star Trek movie news, but it has a Star Trek connection. Okay. You guys know the film Ted?
Yeah.
Yes.
They're making a sequel of it, correct? Ted 2?
How are they?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And its creator is Seth MacFarlane. You may know him from Family Guy and American Dad and whatnot. Well, he also appeared, as we all know, on Enterprise in the episodes Forgotten and Affliction. Well, Ted is one of his films, and the Star Trek connection, besides Seth MacFarlane, is he's got Patrick Stewart narrating the film. Michael Dorn and Nana Visitor both play roles, and also in the film is veteran character actor and 3-time Trek guest star Ron Canada. Ron Canada, he plays a judge in Ted 2, but in TNG's Masterpiece Society, he was Ch'Pok. In Deep Space Nine's Rules of Engagement, he was Ch'Pok in Deep Space Nine's Rules of Engagement, Fessick in Juggernaut, and Martin Binbeck in the Masterpiece Society. So the Juggernaut was an episode of Voyager. So there is a Trek connection to Ted 2. So if you like foul-mouthed talking teddy bears, gotta check this one out.
Okay. It's also there's a few anniversaries. One is for all good Enterprise fans such as myself, May 11th. So it's a little more than a week from now. Is 10 years since the airing of These Are the Voyages.
The final episode of Enterprise, right?
Yes. The icky, ugly final episode of Enterprise.
The one that no one counts.
What? Come on now. Enterprise was a good show. All right.
I was talking about
we definitely count Enterprise, but
I was talking about the last episode.
Anything with Jolene Blaylock in it's got to be good.
There you go.
Come on.
See, Supreme Legate agrees with me.
I love how people say the episode did not happen, but everybody knows it. They watched it. That's like, no, let's do it over.
Well, you can just throw tomatoes at the screen or something. It's just a horror show in a lot of ways. Just a really pedestrian story. A lot of tropes. And this is a lot of things that aren't very logical about it. Like nobody seems to have got promoted in the time period. In that time frame, they told everybody that Trip and T'Pol had broken up as sort of an FU to the fans. Hey, and don't forget your fan fiction. Forget it because we broke them up. Ha ha ha.
Well, I think the reason why they broke up is because there was a lack of emotion in that relationship.
The reason why they broke up was because Trip got pregnant again.
As a fan writer,
he can't keep his hands out of the beads, man.
Yeah, exactly, right? All I know is Trip kept complaining. He was like, I really wish that she was, she would show some emotion. I can't read her.
come on, she was hopped up on so much drugs. On Trillium B. I mean, how much more emotion do you need? I mean,
there were many issues. There were many, many issues. And the other thing was looking at Troy and Riker. I kept watching that and all I could think of in the back of my mind, which is silly, but it was the thing that took me out of the storyline, was looking at her and I kept saying to myself, her hair is wrong. Her hair is all wrong. And that just, that threw me more than anything else. Okay, fine, they're older and all of that other stuff, but it's like, they couldn't even get that one freaking detail right. But the whole storyline is very strange because they could have placed it nicely into a post-Nemesis time frame, and then that would have explained their ages. It would have taken it away from the Pegasus and all of that other stuff, because what was happening in the episode really didn't have a very good connection to that. So if they had moved Stryker and Roy and Troy, I'm sorry, Siegfried and Roy.
You said Stryker.
Yes.
Sort of like Bennifer or what do they call Brangelina? Yeah, that's awesome.
If they put Stryker, sorry. If they put them, 20 years later, like the actors really were, then I think a lot of the objections with the episode, I think, would go away.
Yeah, if they had kept it more relevant to what was actually happening in the rest of the episode, have it be, he could have been, the captain of the Titan. Just give us that little itty bitty, bit that connects it to Nemesis. Have him be in command. He's struggling with an issue. He doesn't have anyone that he can really talk to, so he turns to the holodeck, which he usually does for good times. But now he's married, so so now he's going there for advice, and he decides to pull up this program, and as long as you're right, it could have been a lot better, and we're kind of retconning, but yeah.
So Stryker, I think, is what T'Pau says in Amok Time. So that brings us back to TOS.
All I know is T'Pol is a cougar. I'm just saying.
Well, yeah. So there is another anniversary.
Okay.
20 years since, just put in the chat room, 20 years since the first season of Voyager.
20 years.
Wait, I'm that old.
Voyager.
At least that's according to TrekNews.net.
Yeah. Okay, that kind of makes sense. 7 seasons plus another 4 for Enterprise. That's about that kind of, the math kind of almost works.
Okay, so thinking back to the first season of Voyager, does it hold up? What do you think?
I'd say probably more so than first episode of TNG.
Well, that first episode was there. A lot happened in that first episode.
Because Caretaker was a double episode, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. One of the things
that's the first one they had a double episode on, wasn't it? Because weren't the other ones all single episodes for opening series?
Broken Bow is 2 parts.
Yeah, but that came after Voyager.
Sure. Sorry, never mind.
Well, Deep Space Nine, that was a single episode, wasn't it? Yeah, it was.
Because that was just about, that had Picard in, so that was like a crossover as an introduction to...
Yeah, it was, I think you're right.
You know what's funny about that episode where Picard was in Deep Space Nine? So Picard is sitting there just reading his little pads or whatever, and Commander Sisko wants to kill him. Did you guys remember that look on his face? You killed my wife. I want to kill you right now. And then Picard's like, "Do we have a problem?" Oh, no, not at all. Love it.
7 years later, it would have been, yep, phaser.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, that episode, we get this brief introduction to Voyager's crew, only to find out that half of them die, and we never see them again. And then the Maquis, obviously we eventually meet up with them. But imagine how different the show would have been if they ended up on the tiny Maquis ship instead of Voyager. Do you think they would have even made it?
They wouldn't have
anywhere close back home.
They wouldn't have all fitted in.
No, they would have died.
Yeah, well, I agree, Steve. They wouldn't have all fit. I mean, the ship was teeny tiny. It could have fit in their shuttle bay.
So you're talking about leaving people behind or killing people off in order to stay on, basically.
Well, it would have been a little bit more interesting. I mean, American Gladiator.
do it like Survivor. We just voted you off the ship. I'm sorry. Take your kit and go.
You know, you got to look at it this way. The reason why they made Janeway an admiral is to get her off the bridge, because she gets a brand new ship. She gets lost. All right. Half the people died. She got her ship stolen twice. And then, when she finally comes home in a Borg sphere. So who wants that? Right. So go figure.
Yeah, definitely. Promote her. Get her out of trouble. Give her away from that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Matt Anderson put a meme in the chat room. It shows a picture of Cisco. Has to catch one man, nukes an entire planet.
Perfect.
Wasn't it a moon? I could have sworn it was a moon in the Badlands, but I could be wrong about that.
Either way, it was a colony.
Yeah, it was a colony, but yeah, Cisco. You don't mess around with Cisco. I mean, he punched Q. I mean, that takes some brass cojones.
The one question I did have when Voyager first started, because I started watching in season 3, and I didn't watch season 1 until I was on to season 6, I think it was. But why? Because of course, when I first saw it, I recognised Robert Duncan McNeil and thought, why is he playing a different character than what he was in TNG? And especially when I first saw that, I thought his character is basically the same character he played in TNG.
And I have an answer, but go ahead.
But yeah, it's just like, why was it they have it with somebody different?
And the reason why is because his dad was an admiral, and he didn't want to be associated or have that kind of thing on him. He wanted to kind of be his own person, so to speak. That only my theory. So, which is why he kind of used a pseudonym back then. But if Tom Paris's backstory is exactly what happened to that other dude that the actor had played. So my retcon is it is the same guy. He just used a pseudonym because he didn't want to have, he wanted to try to make it on his own, to stand on his own 2 feet rather than have, all of the extra pressure and all of the extra crap that comes with being, an admiral's son. I don't know. For me, that works, but
maybe.
Yeah, that was the main thing that I sort of questioned. It's just like, huh? But I suppose maybe they just didn't like his name. Something.
I mean, it's certainly possible, but yeah, you're right. There are so many similarities between those two characters. There had to be a reason, and for me, what makes the most sense is he just didn't want to be, he didn't want to have his future kind of sort of dictated by his father.
Actually, that wouldn't work because that kid, Nicholas Lacano, I think it was, got kicked out of Starfleet, so he wouldn't have gone further to basically become a mass murderer by killing people on that starbase, which is what Tom Paris was in prison for.
Head scratching.
And just like that, he threw a hand grenade into the studio. Boom. My brain exploded. Okay. Interesting. So any other anniversaries coming up, Jespah?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. Well, I got some book news.
Okay, let's hear it.
Book news.
the covers for the next 2 Seekers novels has been released. And I have to say, they are so cool. I mean, I put the link in the chat room. They'll be in our show notes. But Seekers 3 by David Mack is called Long Shot. And, man, it looks like they're flying to the eye of the storm. And there's this, like, I don't know what that is, a colony, perhaps. I don't know, but it looks pretty wicked. And then for Dayton Ward and Kevin Dillmore's Seekers 4, which is called All That's Left, it's got a couple people in TOS era spacesuits on looks like on the hull of some alien ship. So with the Connie, I don't remember is it the Sagittarius or is it I can't remember. I'm bad, but yeah, that looks pretty wicked. I like that. I'm looking forward to them, and the blurbs from the back of the book have been also released with it as well. So let me see.
Hey, Mike.
Yes.
Because we both live in California, you know who Caltrans is. So when I'm looking at this picture, it reminds me of Caltrans because there's like 4 guys standing around and only 1 guy working.
Actually, if you look at 4, but then you go back up to 3, you see that little, what looks like a small colony on a planet.
Uh-huh.
If you have a look at that in a bit more detail, it almost looks that's where they are. So the 2 stories...
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Go on to each other.
I see what you're saying, but the 2 stories are not supposed to be connected.
It definitely looks like it. Where you look at that dome and where it's got a dome and...
Yeah, I see what you're saying, yeah. But yeah, from what I understand, these 2 are 2 separate individual stories that have nothing to do with each other except that they're taking place in the same region of space. So let me read the blurbs to David Mack's Long Shot. Science gone mad. Bizarre sensor readings lead Starfleet scout ship Sagittarius to an alien world where efforts to harness a dangerous and unstable technology have thrown the laws of probability out of balance. Now, events that might have occurred only one time in a trillion are happening constantly to deadly and dazzling effects. A planet in peril. As disasters and miracles multiply globally at an ever-increasing rate, it's up to Captain Clark Terrell and his crew to shut down the experiment gone wrong before its storm of chaos causes the planet's destruction. But the odds against their success and their survival might be too great to overcome. Dum dum dum. Okay. And for Kevin Dillmore and Dayton Ward's All That's Left, initially charted by Starfleet probes dispatched to survey the Taurus Reach, the planet Cantrell 5 now plays host to budding Federation colony, as well as a combined civilian Starfleet exploration team. Ancient ruins of an unknown civilization scattered around the planet have raised the curiosity of archaeologists, anthropologists, historians, and other interested members of the Federation scientific community. Together they are attempting to shed light on the beings that once called this world home. After a large unidentified vessel arrives in orbit and launches a seemingly unprovoked orbital bombardment, the USS Endeavour responds to the colony's distress call. As they attempt to render assistance and investigate the mysterious ship, Captain Atish Katami and her crew begin to unlock the astonishing secrets the planet has harbored for centuries. Does the survival of a newly discovered yet endangered alien race pose a threat not only to Cantrell 5, but to other inhabited worlds throughout the Taurus Reach and beyond? And let's see, it looks like they'll be available July 28th for Long Shot, and All That's Left will be released in October 27th. So be sure to check those out. David Mack.
Weird, for the UK, Long Shot's released on the 30th of July, a couple of days later, but the October release is exactly the same.
Okay. Well, if you're David Mack, Kevin Dillmore, and Dayton Ward, great work. You know, they make some great stories, so definitely check these out. And if you're a fan of Vanguard, as a lot of us are, definitely another reason to check these out because it's not really continuing the story, but they're playing in the same area of space. So who knows what they're going to find.
I was thinking maybe that large ship was looking for Cantrell 6, and the guy said, "Oh, you're looking for Cantrell 6. This is Cantrell 5." Sort of reminds me of that Khan episode, City Alpha. Yeah.
There is no Ceti Alpha 5. Oh, sorry.
Exactly. So let me put a bug in your ear, and you're going to tell me the truth.
Literally?
The whole truth and nothing but the truth. Give me your command codes.
It's a trap. Wait, wrong franchise.
I know, right?
Okay.
Speaking of that, you know what tomorrow is, right?
Oh, yeah, tomorrow is May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you.
That was my, fourth. Got some product news.
New Star Trek products are coming in soon.
Okay, so, what bathroom is not complete without an Enterprise D transporter room shower curtain?
No bathroom is complete.
No bathroom is complete without one. So yeah, you can get your TNG Enterprise D transporter room shower curtain. Let's see. Looks like from Robe Factory. So yeah, it's 100% polyester and comes with 12 shower rings, and the curtain measures 71 inches square. So yay. New products. And moving right along. Oh, looks like we're into the gaming segment of our show already. Wait, I think we need a squirrel. In homage of Nick, let's do a squirrel.
Is it really a squirrel if you plan it?
Well, probably not.
A gerbil then?
Nick is obviously at shooting
I love
times.
how MidNite Shadow just went there with the gerbil. That was awesome. Oh, he's looking for a squirrel. How about a gerbil?
I tried.
That's so awesome.
I believe Terry and Alan are in Amsterdam today, so they're in the final leg of their trip. So we wish them well. Hope they're having fun. Nick is at shooting time, and he's doing. He's somewhere in the world. Although I think I'm gonna spoil a little itty bitty something and say it's in this hemisphere. That's all I'll say.
That's all you can say.
Well, there's a lot more I can say, but I don't want to give away too much. But I will.
I just hate for the government to come and take you away. You know what I mean?
I will reveal that
because I will see it on the 6 o'clock news. Klingon ambassador gets arrested by authorities.
A Klingon perp walk.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, they got paint sticks.
That feels good. Give me some more. Klingon lives matter. Okay? Klingon lives matter.
Of course they do. How else are they supposed to die honorably in battle?
Yeah, exactly.
One way, I'd like to buy a ticket to Silvercore, please.
One ticket to Silvercore, but please take off the handcuffs so that I may die with honor.
Yeah, there's no honor in being shackled.
Yeah, being shackled and then getting hit with pain sticks and stuff, right? Yeah, you don't want that. I mean, goodness.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta die on your feet. You gotta die with a weapon in your hand and your enemy's throat around your hands around your enemy's throat.
I don't mind dying with my weapon in my hand.
That's not your weapon.
You could probably fend off the police if you fight them naked. Just saying.
That would when I was a security guard, that would definitely get me to stop.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying, right? If you want people to leave you alone, they want to beat you up, just get naked and chase after them. They'll run.
Oh boy.
Hey, you wanted a squirrel? I'm giving you a squirrel. Okay,
yes.
It's not my fault. It looks like a mouse, but it's a squirrel.
Yeah. There's baby bunnies running around all over the place out here.
Are you changing the subject because you're uncomfortable?
Yes, I'm very uncomfortable.
Okay, I just wanted to put that out there.
Well, we can always just bring it back to sex by saying about rabbits.
Oh yeah, see, there we go.
Rabbits beget rabbits,
and there are lots of rabbits, and they don't know that they're not supposed. They don't know that they're supposed to be afraid of people.
At least it saves you having to go down to the butcher's anyway.
Oh, Neoma.
Did you see what the lovely Janice wrote?
Yes. Nick is going to kill me later, but no, you don't.
No, you don't, because you know what?
You look great just the way you are.
I'm going to just tell you, let you all you ladies know, all you have to do is show up, bring beer. You don't have to worry about working out. You don't have to worry about having the perfect body. Just show up and bring beer.
I think we might have scared away Janice. Or Janet. Okay.
Just got kicked. Can you drag her down?
Oh, she got. 1 second. Let me. I'm sorry, Janet. I'm so sorry, Janet. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Oops, thank you. I was scared it was dark.
Oh, well, at least you weren't there for that squirrel because, that made me uncomfortable.
You know what, Mike? Speaking of scared of the dark, I was in Oakland and I was scared. Okay, so I understand being scared of the dark. It's just not a good thing.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's move on into the gaming segment of the show.
Okay.
Ooh, boy.
I love it. He's squirming in his chair. Just look at him.
I am.
I never seen a Klingon squirm before.
All this sex talk is just
where's the honor in squirming?
My God, what the hell did I miss?
Oh, you missed a lot.
A naked Klingon perp walk for one thing.
Oh yeah. I'm glad I was getting a little more Advil.
And I think that's going to be the name of the show this week. Naked Klingon perp walk.
There you go.
The name of Dayton's next rock band.
Oh yeah, that's the name of my next rock band for sure. Oh boy, squirming in my chair. Okay, so Star Trek timelines. They have released an early look at their it's a video walkthrough from the game's executive producer Rich Gallup. So they're showing off the game for the first time to the world. Sure, they did give people a chance to check it out and play over at PAX, but this is, if you weren't at PAX, you didn't really get to see all that much. But apparently this is the alpha version of the game, so it's still in development. But I have to say, I'm kind of excited. This is a mobile game, so I've been looking forward to it for a long time, and hopefully, once it gets released, I'll be able to snatch it up and play it. So, congratulations to Disruptor Bream.
Excellent.
I want to be Archer.
You want to be Archer?
I want to be Archer. Yeah.
Okay. And
just kidding. No, I'm watching the video right now. It looks really good. Now, this is something you would play on your cell phone, right?
Yeah, it's for mobile devices, so cell phone, tablets.
This looks cool.
I think there are browsers as well, but I'm not quite sure on that one. Yeah. But yeah, you have pretty much the crew. You'll have access to all the crews from every series, and to kind of sort of combine and build your own ultimate crew and be able to go on adventures and whatnot. So it seems like it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, because I travel quite a lot, and this is something I used to be playing at the airport,
On the phone. Okay.
Okay. Next up in the world of gaming, or Star Trek gaming, I should say, is NECA NECA WizKids.
What'd you call me?
No, I know. No.
Oh. I had to.
Poor squirming Mike. I don't know who the hell you people are anymore.
Okay, so NECA WizKids games, the tactical space combat miniatures game Star Trek Attack Wings. Looks like they are releasing another expansion. So this is kind of like Kiana Prime. So this is the from Voyager, the Year of Hell. That's the, I guess, the theme that they are introducing. So they've got, Kiana Prime, the planet. They have Anorax as one of the captains. Obrist, which is, his second in command. He's also a captain. Causality, Paradox. These are some of the various cards that you can play. So this is kind of like, if you're into I can't think of it. It's like board games or card games or.
Is it like Dungeons and Dragons?
Kind of like Dungeons and Dragons. Tabletop. It's a tabletop. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. If you're looking into tabletop games, this is a new expansion in theirs. So check it out if you're into that sort of thing. Moving along. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Speaking of games, there was a very, very good article recently. I'm going to put the link in the chat room. Hang on a sec. So this is an article from Boston Magazine, and it's about Gamergate. It's specifically about Zoe Quinn and what happened to her. She is a female game designer, and a big part of what happened in Gamergate is that her ex-boyfriend basically decided to do some character assassination on her. And it's probably the best and written and most balanced article I think I've seen on Gamergate. So, because this was something that I would always sort of hear about, and I knew that horrible things were happening, but it didn't really have a lot of background on it. And this article, I think, gives some really good background on what happens with her and with her life, but even what happened with the ex and what he was doing and what he claims his motivation was. And I think it's a very good treatment of the subject, and it's well worth a read.
If I remember correctly, is this the person who killed themselves at the behest of the audience, or
no? She's
okay.
They had gone out, and by all accounts, it was a very brief romance where they dated over the course of 5 months. They didn't even see each other all the time, and particularly in the last month. And so, for any logical person, for any normal person, that would be a big cue to you that is saying, well, this is not that serious. This is not exclusive. This is not the big, oh my God, this is the love of my life. Because when you really love, when you really have a love of your life, they try to be with you. They kind of bend time and space in an effort to be with you. It's not always possible. And they may have other obligations, but generally an effort is made. And this seemed very slackery, and that not a lot of things were happening. And so they went on for about 4 months like this, and then in the fifth month, she brought him to a conference where she was speaking. It was some con, and so she spoke, but their relations together were very weird, because suddenly, instead of just talking to each other, they would sit at adjoining desks or in adjoining rooms and text each other over Facebook chat.
Wait,
so
what?
Yes, really? Yeah. And then once that month or so was over, he put out a big screed, and I don't really want to give the name of it because I think he'll get more attention than he's already got a ton of attention, and I don't really want to give him any more. But let's just say you can find this on Google without any trouble, and it's hosted on WordPress, for crying out loud. And it's like 9,000 words going on and on and on about how, essentially, as we say, she done him wrong. And he claims she slept with 5 other guys while they were dating and stuff like that. But I mean, hello. First off, like I said, this thing had casual written all over it. And the whole thing where the last month or so where they were basically just communicating via text, he saved all that stuff. So he was essentially making his case. He was putting together his paper trail. And so all of that stuff has come out without any context. And one of the things that he did in his big 9,000 word screed is he when he mentions the 5 guys that she allegedly slept with, which she says is produced completely out of whole cloth, that didn't happen at all. But he says that he started thinking about her like 5 guys, like the burgers, and he even put the logo on there and said he started referring to her as burgers and fries, and began to and that was a hashtag that trended on Twitter big time, where people were disparaging Zoe Quinn and putting forth all sorts of memes, some rather disgusting, which I will not mention on the air. And because we are a podcast with a warning, but let me tell you, you don't want to see this stuff. With burgers and fries, and but like I said, this had casual all over it. And so if you give him every benefit of the doubt, if you give him every single benefit and you say, okay, you're right, she was a horrible person, she cheated on you, she done you wrong, this is still an enormous overreaction. What the hell? Anyway, it's an interesting article, and I think I finally started to understand what the hell happened there. And he still thinks he did nothing wrong. He still thinks that what he said and wrote was really important, and that this was important for his healing and all this other stuff. And no, it's not. And shut up. Take the damn thing off WordPress, for crying out loud. This is not important to your healing. You moved on to another girlfriend anyway. You're healed. All right.
The photo of him, there's a photo of him in that article, and he looks like a total douchebag. And after hearing some of the things that went on, he just total douchebag.
Wait, he already moved on to another girl, but yet he was still waging this campaign against her.
That's right. And Jen Uselis, hi Jen, makes an awesome point where she says, I'm glad a judge finally took the stalking order seriously at least, and issued a restraining order, which they did, and that is apparently still in force. When you read the article, he was so methodical. And that's the thing that got me, because when I read the part about that in the last month or so where they were just texting, that told me that he was being methodical. That told me he was creating a paper trail, that he had motivation, that he had motive, and that he knew he was going to do something. He may not have decided what it was going to be, but he was putting putting all his ducks in a row, as opposed to she was just, living her life. And even if she's a horrible, horrible person and did all these terrible things, this is a campaign.
Yeah, that's not cool. That's bullying to the next level here.
Scary stuff. They mentioned swatting also, where the SWAT dispatchers are fooled into sending SWAT teams over to people's houses.
Yeah.
Someone's going to get killed.
Wait, how is this guy not arrested?
Good question. I want to know why myself.
Because if you call the SWAT team on a false call, your butt's going to jail.
That's right. But those are happening from his followers. His minions are doing shit like that.
Oh my goodness, really?
Yeah. Oh, 4chan is behind this too. The lovely people at 4chan. Oh yeah, it's so ugly. There's just so much going on. And these people, they were forced out of their home. She was forced out of her home. And her current boyfriend lost a job because he was he was being considered for something, and the potential employer pulled back because they didn't want to become a part of this mess.
Oh my goodness.
She says she always has to explain to the police over and over again what's really going on, because it isn't really understood that because it's all usernames and whatnot, and they think, well, it happened on the net, it isn't real, just turn off your computer. Well, yeah, except these people are giving real live death threats, where they threatened to go to this con and that con, and they were going to shoot up the place. What the hell? Anyway, big squirrel. I really the sort of squirrel, sort of not, because I know that we had talked about Gamergate before, but it is it's a good comprehensive article. It gives a lot of interesting information, a lot of stuff that I had not known, and it interviews him which I thought was really good too. There's definitely an effort to give some balance to this article. But yeah, man, oh man, even if you give him every single benefit of the doubt, even if you slant everything in his direction, he still comes across as extraordinarily methodical and as somebody who absolutely planned at least the start of this. And God knows somebody's got to be responsible for the end of it, and it really should be him.
Agreed. All right. Getting back to Star Trek gaming.
Yes, please.
Okay, so let's see. The Family Guy Star Trek event is still ongoing. They've extended it an extra week. It was supposed to end April 30th. It is now going to end on May 7th. So that was good news for me because that means I get to play a little bit longer. I'm actually having a lot of fun. I've unlocked several more characters, so we're doing fun stuff with them. Let's see. I've got I've had Riker. I've now have Geordi. I've got Worf. I've got Khan, Spock, and Q. So it's you got some interesting characters. Let's see. Q, I've got him putting humanity on trial.
Nice.
And with Peter Griffin being the prime example, I think we're doomed.
Oh my.
Definitely.
Let's see. Geordi has this habit of losing his his visor, so he's constantly stumbling around looking for it. Khan, you can have him dig a grave.
My God.
I mean, it's just it's Family Guy, so it's a little off the wall, but oh man, it's actually kind of fun. I'm having fun with it. So if you haven't checked it out yet, there's still another week. So I highly recommend it. It is fun. So let's see. Moving on to Star Trek Online.
I want to play Star Trek Online.
Engineering here. Warp engines are online.
Course laid in, Captain.
Engage. Your ship.
Warning. Ship is under attack.
Your crew.
Move out.
Your destiny.
Let's see. Delta recruitment. We are now in week 5. I believe the reward that has been earned from last week is EC and Latinum. I think we get a boost in those rewards. So that's what everyone receives. This week is the replay. So if you get your Delta recruit to replay some of the story missions, then that is giving us credit towards next week's reward for the entire server for everyone, which can be up to 150% more dilithium for the entire week. So, oh boy.
The problem I've got is I've created so many Delta recruits, I haven't got them all through lots of missions, so it's not like I can replay many.
Oh. Honestly, I have not done any replays yet, and I've been meaning to. Yesterday, I had an internet outage over here, so I was going up, driving myself up the wall, trying to figure out what was going on. Come to find out, it was an area thing, so it was like out of my control. So yeah, I'm hoping to get in game today and replay a few missions. I want to complete my Breen set and my Dominion set, so I'll be doing those for sure.
But this is the first time I'm not sure if we'll actually hit tier 3.
Yeah, getting people to replay missions has always been kind of not the easiest thing to do. So. But, there's tier 1, I think is 50% more dilithium. 100% is for hitting tier 2, and tier 3 is the 150. I would love it if we can hit the tier 3, but it only goes until Thursday. So there's still plenty of time, but so get your recruits in there and start replaying some missions because
I don't want to replay the missions. My goodness! Actually, what it is I think if you have a lot of tunes, that could wear on you. I think.
Oh, it does. I mean, I completely agree with that. I have 3 Delta recruits.
I've got 21.
A Romulan, a Federation, and a Klingon.
MidNite has what?
I have 21 Delta recruits.
Holy cow! How do you do that?
And that's because I've got 40 characters now in total.
Isn't it?
You're gonna fill a state.
God damn it!
I'm sitting here like this dude has a bloody army, but my goodness.
I now have one of every single playable species there is in the game.
Yeah, to me that would just drive me insane.
Wow.
I know, like I took one character all the way up through the Breen mission, the Delta, and my Klingon and my Fed, I could claim the rewards. So now I have a Klingon out there doing the missions that my Fed couldn't do, so I could get those rewards.
Yeah, I've got one of each as Delta recruit, and what's nice is it unlocks so many rewards for my other characters. So I've gone and you only need the 3. I mean, so I've got those 3, but by the time I have to admit that the Romulan character was the last one that I rolled. Getting through the Dominion arc onward, because
after the 3rd time,
that is identical for all 3 factions.
Right.
That was so difficult, and it's like the idea of now having to do it again on replay, just to, even if it's just selecting specific ones, is kind of like, oh god, it's so grueling.
It is. It's like 21 missions on that one Dominion arc, isn't it?
It's not that many, but it's freaking crazy.
Because I know the others are like 5 or 6, and then you have that one that just goes on forever.
Well, the Romulan arc is quite long. That's, 10 episodes?
Yeah, the Romulan one is a little bit longer, especially if you're playing the Romulan on the Romulan side as well. It's even longer there because you have all the backstory that comes with your characters. But the Dominion one, from what I understand, is the next arc that they're going to be looking at and revamping. So, that's going to be interesting. Hopefully, they'll trim out some of the fat and make it a little more concise and rework some of the stories, I'm sure, to make it all make a little bit more sense or be a little bit smoother. But still, it is difficult trying to want to get in there and replay some of those missions. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to, because I want 150% more dilithium next week.
I have played one mission a couple of times because, I was doing Terrace, and it's the first time I got stuck in an asteroid, which I just couldn't get out of, so I had to restart the mission. And then I did it the second time, but because I was also watching TV and talking to my wife, that I'd completely missed doing the Delta Recruit console. So I then had to go and replay it a third time. It's like, bugger.
The only time that I've done replays was the Zarantine mission, and that was in the very beginning on my Fed when that mission was bugged. You couldn't complete it. The bug kept it just stopped registering, the events after a certain point. You complete the mission, but you don't know credit after a certain point. So that one I played like 3 times in a row, trying different things to get it to work. And finally I came across a workaround and got it to complete. But yeah, that one took me 3 times to get through.
Yeah, I did that 3 times as well. I'm like, did I not click the right button? So I played it over and over, and come to find out the mission was bugged.
Yeah,
which was a little frustrating. Yeah.
Okay, so next item. Let's see. Link in the chat room. Star Trek Online Tales of the War #2. This one I haven't been able to look at, but there is a photo that really caught my attention. It's an Orion version of Rosita Riveter,
who just recently passed away.
What was that?
She just recently passed away, Rosita Riveter.
Yes, the model.
Oh, wow. That's so sad. It's written in Klingon, or there's text on the photo. It's in Klingon, so I cannot read it. And there's
aren't you Klingon? Scroll down. There's
there it is. Well, the page kept crashing on me, so I couldn't scroll down. Is he not Klingon? It says we can do it. We all do our part. We all fight together for the Empire. Okay, that's cool. Right on. And there's a brief little personal log there for Beck Jornth. Like I said, I haven't read it yet because the page kept crashing on me for some reason this morning, but it seems to be working now. So check that out. I always like reading these little personal logs. They add a little bit extra story to kind of sort of help flesh out the universe, and kind of sort of give you little insights into what's happening or what's coming. So that's cool.
I have a question with the new Iconian reputation. Other than queuing up for those 3 missions, is there another way to get Iconian points for the reputation?
I have not seen them. I've played both of the missions that are out now, and
those are the Tom Paris ones, right? In Merrill, is that the ones you're referring to?
Yes, the Tom Paris. Mural Paris mission. Both of those I've played, and there's nothing there in terms of points.
Right. So you have to queue up for 2 space and 1 ground.
I think you can get them on the Kabali ground. There's some places in there that does.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there is.
Believe.
Okay, because
I haven't done it myself, but I'm sure that was mentioned at some point that you could now get it from the Kabali battle zone.
Well, you can also get them from other PvE missions as well. I think they added it to the where you're fighting the Borg, the Undine, and the Voth. I think you also can earn Iconian points there, and probably a couple other areas as PvQ.
So I can go into Voth battle zone and get Iconian.
I don't know if it's the Voth battle zone, but it's in the PvEQ. Some of the Voth ones in there that you can earn.
Yeah, I just wish there was an Iconian battle zone where we just go in there and just murder the Iconians and get the points. Because as it stands right now, you have to queue up.
That may be coming.
Yeah.
But if we're going to talk about battle zone, I want an Undine ground battle zone. And I want it to be, a Terror Dome. I think I mentioned that before on the show. So, but that's what I really would love to see.
1 man leaves. 2 men enter. 1 man leaves. When I hear Terror Dome, but...
Yeah, so that's what I would like to see, though. Real quick, this weekend is a dilithium weekend, so get in game and earn some dilithium, and obviously, as I said earlier, if the Delta recruits get their work done, we'll be able to get even more dilithium for the rest of the week. So that's kind of cool. All right. I have played a little bit of Stowe this week. I now have 10 pieces of epic gear that I've upgraded.
Really? Congrats, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm still hoarding my dilithium in order to decide, first of all, which ship and weapons I'm going to actually upgrade stuff from. So I've sort of got 300,000 of dilithium that I've been...
Yeah, you'll burn through that real quick, to be honest with you.
I hoarded up...
I know.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, that's why for the last 2-3 months, all I've done is literally done what I can to just hoard the dilithium each time I get it, because I know I'm going to burn through it quickly when it comes to actually sort of trying to get the epic gold sort of Mark 14 stuff and sort of all the little events for getting better upgrades. I've been doing those, and I'm trying to get all my stuff up to level 20 on my main toon. So far I've got beams up to level 20. I've got
Dang.
I've got engineering.
You only need level 15,
the rest
right?
is 16. Sorry?
Oh, look at you only need level 15. The others are just, what, bonus or something?
Well, the difference with level 20 is what you crit at. Basically, you have, from what I can tell, when I've actually gone to do the upgrade packs, it's a 99% chance to crit at level 20.
I'm sort of looking at the Green Orion girl. Sorry, I totally did not hear
at level
what
15,
you said.
it's something like an 80% chance. So by going up those extra few levels, you're increasing your chance of always critting on anything that you create.
Oh, okay.
I've been getting those levels up slowly, but I haven't focused so much on them. But let's see, I had 400, and I'll round up and say 425,000 refined dilithium.
Wow.
And I blew it all last night in about maybe 10, 15 minutes. But I got 5 pieces of epic gear out of it. My adapted Klingon Honor Guard gear is epic gold now.
Nice.
Add to that the Borg set. I have 2 out of the 3. I just need to get my cutting beam to epic. But my space Borg set is almost there. And then finally, I've got my deflector, my engines, my warp core, and my shields all set to gold.
Wow,
already.
I'm jealous.
So I'm getting there. I'm out of refined dilithium now. I'm completely out.
Mm-hmm.
However, I have 975,000 more dilithium to refine. So it's going to be a while before I get to do this again.
So, for my ship, all my consoles, with the exception of 2, are epic. And I'm talking about my tactical, my science and engineering ones. I'm using the Fleet Guardian cruiser. So I have all that epic. Yeah, everything else is Mark 14. So I'm going to start on my engines, deflectors. I'll do that next. I'll do my weapons last.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I start that was the first thing I did was the space, necessities.
Right.
Which is, the deflectors, shields, engines. And then I switched to ground to get those going because to me that was the second most important thing. And then once I got the ground, I started going into back to the space. And I'm doing my Borg set. Once I get the Borg set, which is 2 pieces of, let's see, it's a console and then two weapons. And then once I get the Borg set done, I'm going to work on the other miscellaneous items that I've got, filling out the rest of my weapons. And then I'll start outfitting like my shuttle or one other ship because, we're working on the other sets, getting those to first to Mark 14, then eventually to ultra rare, and then eventually to epic. But that's long term.
I'm thinking we may need to have MidNite Shadow do it for us since he's level 20 on all his stuff.
I'm only level 20 on beams at the moment.
Oh, that's it. All right.
Yeah, I'm level 17 on, I think it's engineering, and I'm 16 on all the rest.
Yeah, I'm on 16 on everything, and because I blew all my tech upgrades. I'm going to be spending probably most of today between replay missions, getting those back up, restocking my tech upgrades. So still got a lot to do.
That's a cool. I'm looking at the chat where they're putting pictures of Orion girls. I love the pregnant one. Kirk was here. See, that's awesome.
That is classy.
Just to quickly go back to the Konia marks, Supreme Legate found it before I did. There's a post from the Stowe forums that said that you listed all the places you can get them. So it's from the following PvE you've got the Herald Sphere, Brotherhood of the Sword, Gateway to Grethor, Bug Hunt, the Battle of Corfez, and from 2 open missions within the Kabali Adventure Zone. So at the gates, which is a requirement of breaking the wall, and the last stand, which is a requirement of with our last breath.
Really? I thought there would be one other. The one where you're facing off against the Borg, the Undine, and the Voth. That battle royal type one. Because isn't that like the Iconians kind of sort of encouraging that event to happen? I don't know, but okay. At least there are other ways than just those. But I did play Gateway to Grethor and Brotherhood of the Sword, and I haven't checked out the Herald Sphere yet. But those two were fun. I did enjoy those. So
my favourite out of all those three is the Gateway to Grethor. I'm enjoying that one. That's the one I played most of.
I like the one, I don't even remember the names of these missions, but the one where the guy keeps saying the ships are making their way to the planet, and he keeps, because there's a bug, and he keeps saying it over and over to Klingon guy. Which one is that one? Is that Brotherhood of the Sword?
If it's the space one, then that's the Gateway to Grethor.
Okay, yeah. That's
the Brotherhood
the one I
of the Sword is the ground version.
Okay, and the Herald Sphere, that's where they go from with a spear, and they go back, and they go through the gate, and they come back.
Yeah, that's where you're going backwards and forwards.
Yeah, I don't like that one. I like the Gateway to Grethor. To me, that's my favorite one out of all of them.
Yeah, same here.
Janet, you don't play Star Trek Online, do you?
I do not.
You're too busy.
I have school.
What?
No, she's got a full plate as it is, so it's understandable.
Oh, come on. I went to college, I had 3 jobs, and I played Star Trek Online. Actually, no, that game wasn't out yet, so.
See?
No problem. It's something we enjoy and we talk about a lot here. So
we need her just to make an account. She doesn't have to go and play. Just make the account.
I think once she's a little more settled, once school's done and things are settled, we'll force her to create an account.
Uh-oh. I'm scared. Now I'm really scared.
All right. Let's move on to convention news.
Okay. Shall we just start right off the bat with a Las Vegas update?
Are we still talking Vegas, right?
We are.
Oh,
Vegas.
Yes.
You're coming to Vegas, right? Star Trek Las Vegas may take place every August, but on this show...
This is where we hang out the rest of the year.
Exactly.
The crew has been fatigued now from so many months in space, and they need to take a break. The landing party has been down to check out the terrain while the crew gets ready to play. They say there's only plant life living on this lovely rock, but a rodent appears wearing a vest.
All right. So first up, we've got let's see, Sci-Fest LA. The second annual Sci-Fest LA will take place May 7th through 31st, so that's this coming week at the Acme Theater in Hollywood, and it's set to be a star-studded and Star Trek star-studded affair. Among the Trek names participating are Walter Koenig, Armin Shimmerman, Tim Russ, Nazneen Contractor. Am I reading that right?
Looks like Contractor to me.
Looks like Contractor to me. Patricia Tallman and Tucker Smallwood. Ooh, Tucker Smallwood. Didn't he play
Isn't
Klingon?
Tucker Smallwood taller than Patricia Tallman?
Yes, much.
I'm just saying.
And if I remember correctly, he played a Klingon in an episode or two of Trek.
Tucker was in Enterprise. He was a Xindi.
Oh, he's
also,
the Xindi.
And he and the makeup kind of really did a number on him. He was allergic to it, but I'm Facebook pals with him, and he's all hepped up. He's certainly ready to go to convention. Happy to do it.
Right on. He looks like let me check out his IMDb real quick, because it looks like he also played a Starfleet Admiral.
Yeah, I think he had some other role. I don't recall what it was, but I think that Enterprise was not the first time that he was on Trek.
One thing that's really cool about the Sci-Fest is not only will it just be Star Trek, but people will see stars from The Walking Dead, The X-Files, Aliens, Heroes, Supernatural, Avatar, Alien, Warehouse 13, Fringer, and Babylon 5, and many more. So that'd be cool.
If Fringer, was that supposed to be Fringe, I wonder?
Fringer? I don't know.
Probably. And everyone loves Armin Shimmerman. He played Quark, obviously, but he's a wonderful character actor. So, if I was in the LA area, I'd definitely show up, so check it out. So let's move on to STLV. Okay, according to StarTrek.com, there are a lot of new people showing up. They're up to 90 guests and counting, according to StarTrek.com. Although I don't think the website quite reflects that yet.
Excuse me, the creation website says 93.
Oh, okay. But interesting. Some of these people I don't remember seeing. But okay, let's see. The newest additions are Saul Rubinek, Chase Masterson, Hagen Beggs. Hagen Beggs played Lieutenant Hansen in TOS episodes Court Martial and Menagerie. Celeste Yarnall, Eddie Paskey, Doug Drexler, Bobby Clark, John Delancey, Brandon Braga, and Ron Moore. So that's according to StarTrek.com. Jen Celis says she'll be in Chicago for Creations convention. She's stoked. She's gonna get her picture taken with George Takei. Awesome. Let's see, and then over on Creations website, we've got some new names as well. Let's see here. A lot of them are familiar, but there is one bit notable name that. Or actually a couple. Brenda Bake. I don't remember seeing her name in the StarTrek.com article. She's going to be in attendance. She was Riven on the Star Trek TNG episode Justice. She has made many appearances on other top TV shows, including a regular on Selena Combs on American Gothic. She'll be attending, autographing, and photo opping, but those dates are yet to be announced. Also, and this is some GMT news, not only will we have a booth at STLV this year, as usual, but once again, the lovely, talented, and magnificent Kipley Brown will be joining us at our table. She'll be spending time with us. Kipley is best known as the ill-fated engineer Jane Taylor in Star Trek Enterprise, and for playing the lead role of Hoyle in Entertainment One's cult sci-fi noir feature, Yesterday Was a Lie. James Kerwin, I believe, is directed that. I don't believe they're advertising it, but she also, her and James work together again in Star Trek Continues, and looking forward to seeing her return to that show. But again, that's not something that Creation will be advertising. Other TV and film credits include RUR Genesis, also a James Kerwin film. Disney's The Sweet Life, Relative Strangers, starring Danny DeVito, and the Sundance Film Design. Kipley will be at the GNT show booth in the vendor's room throughout the convention to meet fans and sign autographs for a nominal fee. Kipley will also be doing a solo photo shoot, photo op for $40, and duo photo op with Connor Trenier for $80. The date for that is yet to be determined. But wow, can you imagine that episode with of Enterprise with her and Trip, where she dies like in the first 30 seconds of the episode.
That's gotta suck.
Yeah.
And then she haunts Trip the rest of the episode.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so that was pretty awesome. Yeah, he was sleep deprived, so it was, it was all in his mind, but that was still pretty awesome. So, but you can get, the two of them in a photo. That's kind of cool.
I think it's great that G&T shows actually been mentioned on the Creation website.
Yeah, we're good like that. No, we love Kipley.
Mike has the in, so they're gonna always give them props.
We love Kipley. She's so much fun, and we are looking forward to hosting her again. So, if you're going to, that's a good picture of Kipley. Mm-hmm. That's Lieutenant Smith Or is it Jones? Jones. Oh man, James Kerwin's going to yell at me. But nonetheless, that's a good picture. It's the Mirror Universe episode from Star Trek Continues, where she's in her, sitting at the helm. Yeah. So, if you're going to be in Vegas for STLV, be sure to stop on by and say hi to us and to the lovely Kippley. So, all right. And you know what? I got nothing else. I'm done.
Well, I have one quick little thing.
Go ahead.
Let me find it, if I may.
Please, whenever you're ready.
Just take your time.
There it is. I had to go through a few tabs to find it.
Oh yeah, I remember this article.
So, transparent aluminum or something like it.
Oh yes,
is apparently a thing or about to be a thing. It's the idea is that it will probably be for military applications originally, but then for potentially for cell phone screen technology, because it would be a lot more durable. And it's funny because we were talking about 3D prescription glasses before, and I just realized, if this got available for eyeglasses, wouldn't that be amazing? Because I bet it would be obviously it would be much more durable than glass eyeglasses. It probably would be harder to scratch. And instead of doing lens grinding, you just melt it down and get new lenses. I mean, hey, print them in a 3D printer.
Interesting. So it's kind of like a see-through metal. Is it actually aluminum? Does it actually? Oh, it's a magnesium aluminate. So yeah, it does have aluminum in it. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Star Trek and has this uncanny habit of inspiring, of coming up with science fiction type things that inspire people to not only try to recreate, but try to invent and actually make a reality. There's just something about Trek and its message that inspires people in so many different ways, whether it's technologically, philosophically, I mean, it just goes on and on. So it's just amazing that a show from 50 years ago still has this enduring quality that to inspire and to want or to get people to want to help create that reality, turn that into a reality, whether it's through the invention of a product, a technology, or wow. Yeah.
Well, the writers were very good. They are very good. I mean, even the bad episodes, a lot of the writers they're creative people, and the world building that has been done for Star Trek is it's to coin a phrase, it's logical. It's very logical kind of world building, and somebody clearly said to themselves, we need to be able to look out a window, but you can't have glass in space, so what are we going to make it out of? And came up with this. And now somebody actually said, hey, that's a really good idea. Let's see if we can make it a reality. And sure enough, they're making it a reality. Yeah, widescreen TVs. That's what Grimmy says. Cell phones. It's
but
lots
still
of great ideas.
Have the most uncomfortable looking beds in sickbay.
Oh my God, that's true.
Apparently, they forgot to mention memory foam. It remembers you.
Well, we don't want you camping out there in sickbay. We want you gone. You're only paying for 2 days on your HMO. Come on.
Pretty much. With a high deductible, by the way.
Well,
a very high one.
Do we have any announcements? I want to send a shout out to Jen Ucelis. She is the woman behind the Klingon Pop Warrior. So if you have not checked out that album, do it now. It's on Amazon. It's on iTunes, I think, as well, and all kinds of other places. And it's totally awesome. So, get it. Listen to it often, because I know I do. So, let's see. Other contests. We got contests. Terry's takedown challenge, I guess, is still ongoing. If you read Star Trek Titan's Absent Enemies and locate the scene that she absolutely adores and email it to us, what scene it is. If it's the correct scene, you can win a copy of Star Trek Takedown autographed by John Jackson Miller. Let's see. If you're attending a Star Trek convention, and you can get a Star Trek celebrity to say that they never listened to the GNT show, record it in some format, and send it to us, you can have an opportunity to win Star Trek Catan game.
YIGNT. We have decided on winners, but we're still figuring out process. So stay tuned because we're checking the Ouija board.
I've got all the prizes. I'm going to be taking them home with me, and I will be responsible for shipping them out once we figured out who's getting what.
Okay, so, great.
So that will be coming soon. So please bear with us. I know that this is taking a while, but with everyone going on vacation and running around the world, it's kind of difficult, but we are working on it. Then there's also the Where in the Hell is Gettysburg 7 contest.
Yes.
Did he ever say what prize he was going to give away for that? Oh, he was going to supply a local delicacy.
I think it was something local was going to be provided. And we the main clues are, one of them is regular driving. That's one of the clues.
Yes, regular driving. I reveal that it's in this hemisphere. So
yes.
Could be in North America, could be South America, could be in the Caribbean, who knows, whatever this hemisphere encompasses. So yeah, if you can figure it out where he's at. Last week he gave us a lot of hints. So you might want to check out last week's episode for some of those hints. And if you can email us and let us know where he's at, you can win a local delicacy from wherever he's at. So,
and where do they email?
hosts@gntshow.com. Which I'm unable to check until I get home. Oh, boy. Anything else we want to talk about? Anthony, announcements. What do you got for us for Club 602?
All right. Well, Club 602, in 2 weeks, we are going to be interviewing the cast members of the Fifth Passenger movie. So they're done with filming it and it's in production and editing. So we're going to chat with them for a little bit. Outside of that, we have a Facebook page on Facebook. It's Club 602. We're also on Twitter at Club_602. So we're just here to make you laugh, have a good time, and always prepare to be offended.
You know what, Anthony? I am so glad. Now, I wanted to mention this to you earlier, but if I figured if I said something, that would only encourage you to actually do it rather than not do it. But I wanted to say, please, today, let's not talk about grilled cheese sandwiches. And let's not talk about macaroni and cheese.
I didn't bring it up.
And I am so glad that you did not. So
but now that you mentioned it, so anyway, so a story. I'm just kidding. I'm teasing.
Thank you again for joining us. We appreciate you taking the time out. And
I'm always here to support you.
I know it's early for you. I mean, I know.
Yeah,
I feel your pain.
You know, because you and I live in the same state. So
I'm not in your state, right? I'm not in California right now, but I feel your pain, dude.
Yeah.
So thank you again.
My pleasure.
We appreciate it. And anyone else have anything they want to say?
Nothing in particular.
Not that I can think of.
Alrighty then. So this has been G&T Show episode 190. That's 190. What were we thinking? And thank you, everyone, for joining us. It's been fun. We'll see you next week. Terry should be back. Next week, Nick will be gone and still, so who knows what kinds of surprises we'll have in store. So thank you again, everyone, and kapla.
Goodbye, everyone.
Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper.
Joel and Truth.
Music for the G&T show is provided by Warp 11, Andrew Allen, Grethor, and 5 Year Mission. This has been a Busy Little Beaver production.
Gonna take a 5-year tour. Boldly go where no man's gone before. Gonna travel to the end and make new friends. Move ahead, walk back to 10. Put a mini skirt on my old man. Represent the human race.